Do not give up. Do I have a pep talk for you today? Tomorrow starts my 40 days in the desert to rest and refresh, and I wanted to go out with a bang. Today's video is sponsored by the Hallow app. If you've been here for any amount of time, you know that the Hallow app has been a beautiful part of my journey of faith. And for many of you, I know you love the Hallow app and what it brings to your life of faith, how accessible it makes praying every day. And so we're going to talk about the Pray 40 Lenten Challenge, which starts today. I'll get to that in a little bit. I had to renew my passport recently, and I had many memories flood back from the first time I got my passport. I was 23 years old when I got my first passport. Some of you might think, that's crazy. You got a passport when you were a baby like my sons have. I was 23, I'd never been out of the country, and I was invited to speak in Europe at a conference. During that time, I was going through one of the hardest seasons in my life. I have that journal entry that I shared with you a number of years ago. I think when Jedediah was a baby, and I read out loud my journal about how much I was struggling. I had so much going on. I was working at the high school. I was an assistant in campus ministry there, and the campus minister, she was very, very, very sick. So I had a lot of responsibility. I was extremely overwhelmed beyond what I can possibly describe to you. So I had to get my passport. Man, so I did all the things. I'm not a logistically minded person. I did all the things, and I went to the passport place and I waited 2.5 hours in line. And the lady said, gosh, it was such a hard moment. She said, you don't have the right type of birth certificate. Too many people have been forging these birth certificates, and you need a certified one from City Hall. So you need to go over there, wait there, come back, wait here, do it all over again. And it was really, you ever have the moment where it's just the icing on the cake? You're like, this, I didn't know. Like, this needed to go right. I needed one thing to go right in my life. I will cry thinking about it. And so I got in the car and I bawled my eyes out. I was crying so hard, and I just really thought, I can't do this. Like, I'm gonna call them. I'm not gonna go. Like, I had so many mountains. I just felt like I was climbing all the time. Nothing came easy, right? Everything was a great struggle at the time. And I just thought, I don't need one more struggle. I went to City Hall. I waited there. I didn't even know how long. Everything felt like forever. It was a long time because I lived in Los Angeles at the time. And then I went back and I waited again. And the woman, I had cried some more in the car on the way there, thinking about how I was going to wait in that long line all over again, just crying so hard. And I went in and the woman took my picture. So here's me. I was 23 years old. And I mean, it's funny because I have like a half smile because the lady said, she said, you can't smile with your teeth, but at least look a little happy. I was like, lady, I am not happy. I will get to the rest of the story after I share about the Hallow Challenge with you. So the 2023 Pray 40 Lenten Challenge invites every single one of us to draw closer to the Lord through prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And the beautiful thing about the Hallow challenges is that they're so beautifully and thoughtfully crafted. Each week is based on a theme around Sunday's gospel, and then they're walking through The Imitation of Christ by Thomas à Kempis, which is one of the most impactful spiritual books that has ever been created. There are amazing leaders who will walk you through these days of prayer. Jonathan Rumi, Jim Caviezel, Mark Wahlberg, Immaculée. Oh my goodness, she's so beautiful and so amazing and inspiring. And these people will guide you throughout the 40 days. So often we can look at Lent and think, what do I do? And try and overcomplicate the whole thing. Hallow has created a power-packed yet simple and beautiful way for you to grow, for your faith to blossom, for you to be challenged, convicted, for you to learn and grow to become more like Christ throughout the process. There are already hundreds of thousands of people doing this. Decide on your time and set an alarm. Hallow has a feature where you can set an alarm. It can send you a push notification. It's time to pray the Pray 40 Challenge. It comes right up on your phone if that's better in the morning, if that's better on your lunch break, in the evening, after the kids have gone to bed, if you're a parent, and it pops right up on your phone. And once that's completed, it gives you a little green check, and you can really walk through it and see your progress and see, okay, I'm doing this day. If you forget one day, you can do 2 in in one day. If you're a big fan of the Hallow app like me and you're already in there, go hop into the prayer challenge, incorporate it into every day of this next season. If you're a person, you don't have any faith, you just watch my channel and you're like, I don't really know what I believe, the Hallow app might be perfect for you. There are so many different aspects, areas, whether it's mental health, whether you want to take some of their courses. There are so many beautiful things if you don't even know where to start in your faith, to know where to start. So my link is down below. It gets you a free trial of Hallow Plus in order for you to join in on the Pray 40 challenge. You won't regret it. Hallow has changed so many people's lives, and it can change yours too. I am number 58,308. So if you hop in there, let me know, comment what number you are in the Pray 40 challenge. May it be the best Lent ever. Back to my story. The woman said, you should look a little happy. You can smile a little, but not with your teeth. And I really thought, oh my goodness, okay. I was like half smile. And this is what I didn't know. I'm so glad I persevered. I'm so glad I pushed through, because that passport literally, figuratively, was what I needed to meet Daniel. And I had no idea. Sobbing in my car there, right? It's so amazing to look back in these times of suffering, these moments of suffering in our life where we think, I'm gonna give up. I'm going to give up. I'm done. I don't need any more struggles. I don't need any more challenges. I don't need any more stress. And you think, I have reached my limit. And I was sitting there in my car at my limit. I was done. And something in me, I found like a tiny little rice-sized piece of perseverance in my right pinky toe. And I drew from there to say, you know what? I can persevere. I can persevere through this. And that's what I want to share with you. It felt like such a huge mountain to climb. And I climbed the mountain and I had no idea what was on the other side of that mountain. And you in your life, whatever mountains you're facing right now, the struggles, the sufferings, just the overwhelm that you're feeling, and you feel like, I want to give up. I don't want to persevere. I don't want to keep going. Keep going, because you have no idea the beauty to come. And some of you might be in a place of cynicism to say, there is no beauty on the other side of this struggle. I am sure of it. Our God is in the business of making beauty out of suffering, of making beauty out of ashes. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things out of us. Now here's the other aspect of it. We want to get over the mountain in a minute. We want the mountain to be a really quick thing. For me, the process of getting up that mountain on the day of that passport was a little bit smaller, but all of the struggles and sufferings, I had to go over the larger mountain in order to get to Daniel, in order to meet him, in order to get that passport that was my ticket to meeting him, right? I got my first stamp in my passport and I met Daniel about 10 minutes later. But I had gone through so many challenges and so many struggles, and the Lord shaping me and molding me into who He wanted me to become was a long process. And that's what we're not used to anymore, really, these days in our culture of instant everything. Our God is a God of the slow cooker. Think about cooking. There's so many different analogies that I love, and I've been sharing about gardening recently on Instagram Live. Looking at gardening and the time that it takes to till the soil, to plant the seeds, for those seeds to grow and all the things that they need, taking time. That the processes that you're going through, these struggles that you're going through, and how they are molding you and shaping you to become the person, whether you're a man or a woman out there listening, God has created you to be, takes time. And we want there to be a shortcut. We want it to be just a quick thing, microwave culture, instant everything, instant pot. We want it to go quickly. And I shared a story recently on Instagram Live about the man who tried to take the shortcut there at the beach. There was a river going pretty fast and you had to go kind of all the way down. It was a long way to get down and then cross over in the area that was a little bit easier to cross. He walked up, he saw the river was a little bit deep, and I saw him assess the situation and see if he could try to jump. He was right next to me. The boys were on my left. He walked up and I saw him assess it, and then he walked away, and I thought, like, he knows it's too far. Like, there's no way he can do this jump. And sure enough, a couple of seconds later, I hear dun 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 behind me, and he runs and he tries to jump across it to take this shortcut. He doesn't clear it. He falls into the river. Something falls out of his pocket. He's walking there. He's looking around for this thing that he lost. And I'm there thinking, the long way probably would have been a better option for you, sir. Of course, I didn't say anything. I just let this man just do his thing. He's looking around. Ultimately, he had to jump back in the little river. And it was this beautiful example for me of like trying to take the shortcut, of trying to shortcut healing, of trying to shortcut restoration, of trying to shortcut repairing relationships, of trying to shortcut growth in faith. And the Lord spoke so clearly to me there. He's like, Emily, do you see what happens when you try to take the shortcut or even believe that there is a shortcut? The long route is the root of process. It's the root of true deep healing, true deep growth. And that is what life in the Lord and the life of faith is like. The long journey, the long process that we want to go quicker. Yes, when I talked about Saint Monica in the video about where she's clinging on to Augustine and she wants to speed this up, the Lord is saying this is a long process and it is for good reason. That there's no shortcut to this, that what you are enduring in your life, whatever it is in your family, in your friendships, in your heart, in your vocation, in your life, the long process, the process that looks like gardening, the process that looks like a photo in a dark room that has to go through so many different processes in order for the picture to come out right? And it takes a while. It's not like a picture on an iPhone and you can see it right there. It has to be developed and grown and shaped to become what it's supposed to be. That is your life. So when it feels like, I wish this would end, I wish there was a shortcut, remember that our God is a God of the journey. Our God is a God who is not instantaneous in so many different ways. He did many instant healings and he can and he does, but ultimately he is a God who cultivates, who tills the soil, who lets the seeds take time to grow. There are so many things happening, I am sure, in your heart and in your life. Give it time. Give it time. You do not know what is on the other side of this process, of this journey, of this mountain that you are climbing. You have no idea what's up ahead. The Lord has such beautiful things in store, just like Saint Monica after 18 years, such a beautiful thing in store at the end of the journey and the beginning of a new one in Augustine's conversion. We want there to be a shortcut. But the shortcut isn't where the growth happens. It isn't where like just this depth of what the Lord wants to do in you happens. That's in the process. That's in the journey. Do not give up. Do not give up. Keep climbing. We will keep climbing together. I wish I could go back to myself in that car on that day when I was bawling, like I was wailing loudly, and say, you have no idea. You have no idea the reason that you're getting this passport. And it's so good. Like, get in that place, smile as much as you can, because there is joy in like on the other side of your perseverance in this. You have no idea what's to come. So even though there's no shortcut, the long journey is worth it. If you have a friend who needs to hear this today, send her or him this video. Join me in the Hallow Apps Pray 40 Lenten Challenge. Again, the link is down below for you to download Hallow. And if you have it, go hop in there. All right. That's all for today. That's all for a while. I will be in the desert for the next 40 days, and I can't wait to see what God does in my heart and in my life. If you haven't read my post about this, head on over to Instagram. I posted it on Sunday about all the beautiful things that you can imagine that could happen in your life if you log off of YouTube, if you log off of Instagram, Facebook, if you stopped reading the news, if you stopped whatever it is, checking Zillow, like, oh, let me see what houses are available in Cape Cod today. Whatever it is. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.